Hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Heart's Frontier, but hanging out version. I have water actually in frame for once. Okay. Welcome, everyone. I'm debating whether to put on Instagram. I might do. So. Makes it easy. Let me know that you guys can hear me. I'm always concerned. Yeah, when I go from microphone to microphone, but this one appears to be working, but let me know if you can hear me easily or not. And let me know what kind of question you have for Oracle session tonight. I'm going to go live on the Instagram. Hear me loud and clear. Thanks, Stacy. I just see your message in the Empath Energetics chat. Made me chuckle. Okay. Live. Maybe I will do a bit of this. Great. Live Oracle. Sometimes I know that I'm going to go live on Instagram. Sometimes, like, I don't tend to do it every time, but lately more and more. Okay. So maybe I will start with a collective energy reading. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. So let me start with a collective energy reading and just read what do we need to hear collectively right now, all together. And then I'll get into doing individual oracle readings and just let me know what you might like to hear about. I was painting today and I got white paint all over myself, which means this is now a painting sweater. Or maybe not because I got paint on it, but I'm not sure it'll wash out. So, okay, we got wind activation again, and that came out recently, which I really love. This activation energy. It does feel like we're kind of, in many ways, kicking up into a higher gear. That's funny. Just want to get a new card here. Lots of repeats are coming out, and I hadn't shuffled enough, so let's see. Okay, yeah. Be supportive. It says, make a genuine effort to show you care. And this feels like make a genuine effort to show you care about a passion, about a project. It actually feels specifically about a project. Be supportive to yourself, but also to the project, in a sense, putting yourself fully invested towards an idea allows it to take shape and it allows it to come to the fullness that it's meant to come out to. So if you have this idea or project or passion stirring, welcome, welcome. If you have this idea or project or passion stirring, it's kind of about making a genuine effort, putting your all into it, diving both feet first, because we have this wind activation and also dragonfly, which says emergence. So it's like this emerging, coming out, activating, like uplifting type of energy towards projects, but only if you allow yourself to be focused. So it's not like a harsh kind of focus, but it is about like discipline in direction. It feels like discipline in direction. Because if you were to line up, it's like laser. It's focused on. So I would say choose something right now, maximum 2 things. And that doesn't mean count both hands to mean 4. Hello, Lori. Oh, Stacy. Yeah, I love that as well. It's a good message. I like the message as well. It's nice to listen to myself if I play myself back in my head. Let me know if you have personal oracle questions. Instagram is warming up. Not as many people over there tonight. Looks to be somewhere between 4 and 7 on YouTube on my end. So let me know if you have any questions, and we'll wait for people to get on, and I will just pull another card or two for our collective reading. I was finding myself taking moments of just being silent and just being present today. I noticed myself getting really not busy-brained, but unfocused. I'm going to say unfocused is sort of the best way. It didn't feel like it was doing much. It just felt like it was sort of going around. I just see I'm emojis, but I'm guessing that they're actual emojis I don't have access to on my computer, which does happen because it's just YouTube Studio. I don't know what emojis you would have sent. It just says hashtags. Anywho, now I'm all curious. Lori would like a card to be pulled for you. Is there any question you have, or do you just want sort of whatever I feel drawn to, like a message for you? I'm feeling pretty flexible with the questions tonight, so everybody get your vague questions in if that's your style. You're welcome to think of something more clearly or specifically if you'd like. Either way. Okay, so our two cards here are any message. Yeah, that's what I thought. Our two cards here are meditate for 5 minutes. And when your mind wanders, bring it back to your breath. And so this is something I'm going to practice as soon as I'm off of this call. I'm going to keep this out, actually. Sometimes I get in the flow of putting them all away. But I'm going to keep that out and do some breath work. Breathing and bringing yourself into your body is simple, but it can also be incredibly deep and transformative. And earlier on today, I found myself sort of tensing or holding my breath. And so I thought, it's a good idea to actually do some expansion work and also then practice holding the breath. Because when you're holding the breath in a place of safety, then that doesn't feel like tension the next time. No, I'm definitely not in India, although some people from India actually do end up following me on the YouTube more so. No, I am from Canada and I am living in Scotland. Pamela, feeling like being alone more with my projects and in general. Can I have a card on that, please? Yeah. Yeah, and that's definitely, I think that's part of this message coming in as well, Pamela, with the collective too. It's like, if it's with your projects, having that discipline in putting your energy towards it, like things only go if you allow yourself to channel them out. It may just be a time where you're meant to really support the project getting what it needs. And that could be you spending time alone as well. And wow, this card really resonates as well. It says, make yourself a priority in your life. So that almost answers Pamela's. I'm going to pull other cards for you, Pamela. First, I'm going to do Lori's. But yeah, I really like this one. Make yourself a priority in your life. Sometimes easier said than done. It can be easy to step out of that habit. Lori, Lori, Lori. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do. Really feel like singing out to you. I don't know why. I was singing right before doing this. I was recording one of my songs on the ukulele and playing around. So I do feel like I'm talking about that, Lori, because I feel like part of this message for you is like having some play and a sense of play, opening yourself up to the idea of playing more. Oh, goodness. That's a bunch that I dropped. I got to read all three because that was such a such a journey to go get them. Oh, there's 4. My goodness. Voyage of the Heart. It says, love flows through you and to you. So this is sort of the main idea of tonight. It's like, can we get so clear in our body and channel that we allow whatever is meant to come through? Like in Lori's case, it'd be play. With Pamela's case, it may be like channeled towards a specific project and your own, divine individual mission. And yeah, Lori here, it's with play. It says love flows through you and also to you. So anytime we get into that potential scarcity mind, it's almost like and scarcity being, oh, I might get stuck here. I'm not coming up with ideas, or I am so serious, or oh, I feel so stressed, just these opposite ideas of play. Allow what you want to come in to you, through you, and then also out, and then to you again, and then through you. And it really kind of opens up this ongoing conversation. So it's not like having or not having, it's like allowing and taking that in as well, and continuing to receive that. I hope that makes sense. It felt very loopy in my mind as well. But you also have vast vistas, which says expand your horizons. I really like that for you. Expand your horizons. So I do feel like this is about stepping out of the box, trying something new, was more what I felt. I felt like trying something new. And play, I would also say, has to do with creativity, but also like body freedom. It feels like some sense of play with body, um, maybe even uh, body paint, or doing some sort of like dance that feels like way different than what you normally do, something that allows you to be free, or maybe even just putting on different music and trying to move in a different way. You also have wise leader. I get this card a lot. It's one of my favorites. She's so fierce looking. It says, you are a beacon for others. You are a beacon for others. So if your mind attempts to interrupt and say, why bother? It's not worth the time, or I don't really know. There's no real point in me doing this. Remind yourself you are clearing and playing and uplifting and moving into joy and freeing yourself from any limitations for the good of everyone who you come in contact with. Every single person you interact with is going to benefit from all of this good work that you are doing, letting go of any insecurity or resistance to that like inner child self. And embracing enthusiasm. Perfect, perfect, perfect. It says, shout to the heavens with happiness. So it really feels like a celebration type of energy. So needing more play, not even the half of it, there's so much to that message. And that I think really would have resonated with a lot of the folks in the collective. I do feel that that message was for a lot of people, this celebration energy. You also have turkey spirit, which says, give with gratitude and grace. Give with gratitude and grace. So this is about, not feeling at any point like you're being selfish just because no matter what, that's perfect for you right now. Oh, good. Yeah, no matter what, if you're celebrating, you can also receive other people's celebrations, and you actually then end up stepping more into that mode, right? Where you're even welcoming and watching that for yourself. Okay. So what other questions we have? Pamela. What do I want to do? One of these for Pamela as well. Oof. Alexandra, let me know. I'm glad, Lori. Yes, you're welcome. Alexandra, let me know if you have options or ideas, and also take out the word should from any of that question. If you take out the word should, and if you give out some options, that feels like an okay question for me to answer. Okay. And I'll just get to that as well. We'll get to that when we get to it. Stacy, did I bring the spirit cards? I have lots of different I have all my same cards. So I'm not sure which one you're talking about. So let me know what one you mean. I think I might just be missing a word in there. Okay. Pamela. I, first of all, was really feeling like doing things at night is a good idea for you. I'm not sure if that's in your normal practice, but it really feels like you're going to be embracing some nighttime inspiration, and kind of I'm getting this like break the rules energy, which kind of tells me it's like you might be staying up late or doing things you don't normally do. I don't know. It's just something about like I don't know. It's something about like being a little more unreasonable, a little more like rebellious. And in that way, that might make it difficult for you to like justify, because you're like, I'm just being alone, and almost like the way that you would want to unravel yourself enough to really be fully invested and involved in this project that is on your heart, and also just the frequency that you crave to be at, which is why you're craving that alone time. It's like so that you can be in your own energetic frequency. I feel like this time for you is like really, you're going to be able to do a lot with it only if you unravel and do these things that almost feel teenage like, or just things that you wouldn't have been allowed to do when you were a kid for some reason. It's a really interesting energy. Something to do with celebration as well. There's also this Isis past life. So you might find your past life actually having some type of relevance. I'm not sure if you've done any past lives work before, but this type of figuring out what might be stuck in your past life, it requires you to actually be in a pretty receptive place, really, to like take that something in and actually do something about that in order to rewrite the path and history, but also future of how you carry that wound. Like if you've had regression before, yeah, I feel like there's like something in that. I really am feeling this kind of backwards pull, which always makes me feel very much like past life. It's sort of like low into the back. And it feels very much like connecting to some sort of past life, maybe for not the, I don't want to go so strong as to say the wound, but almost like the interruption or the holdup. I feel like on this project, in some sense, is there's a little bit held up in a past life, fear or resistance. So that might be fun to explore, and you can do that on your own, or you can get support with that. And then I was saying the thing at night, and how doing some things that are like kind of anti how you were raised for some reason. And then we also have this passion and pleasure, which says savor your life. Passion and pleasure, savor your life. So really actually being so like with reckless abandon, letting yourself do what you want to do. And I just see something about this unraveling, like letting loose. I don't know. There's something on that tangent that might be helpful. Okay. Stacy, Alexandra is figuring out a question. So just try to hone in, Alexandra, try to hone in on what direction you feel. The reason I'm saying this is because I love coming out here as an oracle. I think as an oracle, back in the days when we had more oracles as like our as part of our community and leaders within the community, we would respect then also, if we liked them, we would respect, the other messages, the ways that they would want certain questions to be asked or to not. And it's because there's such a divine like significance. The way that we speak means so much to how we're believing something or whether we're trusting ourselves. And I want everyone to feel like they're coming here to get validation or clarity in some direction, growth in some direction, and that it feels like you are connecting to your own intuition through whatever message I bring forward, right? So for everyone who listens to me, if I ever say something that doesn't resonate with you, I want you to be able to say, that's not quite right. And be able to, discuss that or open up to that. It doesn't happen very often because a lot of, thank you, Alexandra, for saying, you're extremely intuitive. I appreciate that, because it's a skill. So I can't shy away from that. And I think the only reason that we come here is so that we can feel better ourselves with what we're putting out, right? And so for Alexandra, if you can get to like, you haven't asked a new question yet, and I think it would be good to ask one. I think it's a good practice mentally for us to get to the place where we're like, okay, here's what we need to know. And that's like, step one in empath energetics. When I work with clients, it's like, how are we asking these questions? What are we looking to get? And how can we be clear on what our intuition then receives? We kind of build a proper slide for it and doesn't go sliding off the sides. So if you could think of a question that does not have the word should in it. And again, the reason I don't love the word should is because you're meant to do what's in your highest and best interest and order and alignment, but we make lots of different decisions throughout our life, and some of them aren't for our highest and best. And I truly think there is like a great deal of choice as well as destiny. It's like a big, interesting conversation to get into, but should doesn't really have a part in any of those. That's definitely a sidestep from what's in your best alignment. And I'll talk more about that another time. I don't want to keep talking about the word should. I could go on for days. I'm going to get to Stacy's question, Alexandra, and then circle back to yours. Anyone else who's here, feel free to ask a question. I will happily answer. It could be a psychic. It could be oracle. It could be lots of different things. So Stacy, what spirit guide do I need to focus on? What spirit guide do I need to focus on? Okay. It's a fair enough question. And at the same time, I'm kind of having like a crisis of belief here, because I feel like focusing on a specific spirit guide could potentially limit your conversation being with multiple. And there's different reasons that different guides are like useful and beneficial to us. And so I'm going to try and feel like a certain area that I think is asking for some attention, but I wouldn't say like, I think we all need to receive from any guide who shows up on our path to give us, some sort of guidance that brings us closer to our highest alignment. Okay, Stacy, you agree. That's great. You also have Gates of Triumph, which says success expands in your life, which is just a very exciting card. I think I just wanted to share that with everyone. Success expands in our lives. Woo. Stacy, I'm feeling one goddess card and one animal card. One goddess card and one animal card. And so I'm going to just give like 2 areas for you to learn more about. And instead of focus on, it's like, maybe who do we need to connect with or learn from? It's funny. Funny. Okay, so you have Nematona, which is sacred space, which is so interesting because Pamela, which is Pamela's angelic readings, just posted this as selection B on the post that I just commented on. Sacred space. So it's like the second time I've seen this in the last hour. It says, create an altar or visit a power place to connect with the divine. So Stacy, I really am feeling like your whole message is actually about opening up to whomever and trusting your place within the divine realm, that whoever and however they're meant to show up are actually doing so, as long as you are listening. And so otter spirit, you are never alone. It's like totally this message of, I'm actually feeling like building some kind of altar space or image that represents different types of guides might be helpful to you. So instead of which guide to focus on, maybe just printing out images of what you think are similar, or drawing out, or maybe even having like a rock or feather or like, I don't know, crystal, something that reminds you of each of the guides that you know about could be helpful. And yeah, so basically it's a specific thing, not like just build a general altar, but it's actually a specific thing about having physical or visible representations of the different guides or different types of guides that you're aware of. And then you can allow yourself to feel more drawn. If you feel really drawn to the one and it represents Archangel Raphael, okay, great. Then you know that's the connection for you. If there's another one that is like goddesses in general, right? Okay, you might go over there. If you have one that is a knight, you might have a rock there that represents them. And so when you have then the whole system, you're then able to feel energetically around each one as to which is maybe drawing your attention more for a specific question. And that might be a good way to open up communication. Okay, Alexandra, I see a question coming in, so I will read it in a second. And then Pamela, I'm feeling to be outdoors more as I wasn't allowed out as often as I wanted to be as a child, just in my garden and see some people around the trees from way back in time. Wondering about the unraveling. I say unravel at least in nature. But I saw something about staying up late and something about your teenage years that you can do, but it feels like alone, or it feels like it's like kind of like against the rules for teenage self for some reason. And it's later at night. And okay, I'm glad you like that idea, Stacy. I'm glad that works for you. Okay. Alexandra. Regardless the type of business, would I be able to overcome landlord harassment and run anything there? I do not feel good about the landlord harassment. I feel like you could run something there and then you would feel really guided, like you need to leave there. So it's just, I just see it as like, if yes, if you're going to run anything there, I feel like it would just be a stepping stone onto the next evolution. So as soon as you can get to what you do want and not the things you're trying to avoid, which I know is really painful. So it's a really annoying message for me to tell you when there's chaos and struggle and strife and conflict and legitimate restraints and barriers. And I just want to let you know I'm seeing that. I'm recognizing that. And also suggesting that there is a reality in which what you want and what is divinely meant for you somehow meet up and you're able to have that life. And in that life, landlord harassment would not be a stress. And in that life, you know, being concerned and feeling as though you don't belong somewhere is not a part of it. And so those elements are around in this property, in that place, and don't look to be changing anytime soon. And if that feels right to you, then you might say, I wonder what comes next. And when you're in the I wonder what comes next, more and more and more can come out. Whereas if you're in the how do I avoid my current pain, it will end up showing more in a sense. Let me know if that resonates. I'm in funny brain because we had Empath Energetics earlier today. And I've also been doing art, and art gets me in a really different kind of headspace. So, you know, channeling, I don't always remember everything I've said there. So let me know if that resonates, if that makes sense for you. I see you, Svetlana. Thank you. Pamela. Oh, you're welcome. Oh, you're welcome. I'm excited to see what ends up coming out for you. Unraveling, I think, is a very healthy thing if you trust yourself, right? If you trust yourself, you feel pretty safe in yourself, you know, I think unraveling is a perfectly good thing to do with yourself. Okay. Lots of energy. Svetlana. Hi again. Ooh, I'm glad you're asking about love life. I just took a sigh. I hadn't read your question. I just took a sigh out because I was like, I want to do a love reading after this because I wanted to do one for myself. And I saw yours. Great. Alexandra, I'm going to ask you a question back. Today is like not an easy day for Alexandra because I keep just punching it back with another question. I'm glad it resonates with you. I don't think I would speak if it didn't, but I'm really glad when it does. Alexandra, what will that change? What will that change if I tell you? Why do you want to know that? What is the point of you knowing that question? How long do you see me having the red home? Because I'll be able to answer better once I see your answer to that. So what would that change? What is the point of asking that? Okay. And then Svetlana, any changes in my love life in the next 6 months? Really have a lot of music going through me right now. And I feel like if you're not going to date a musician, you're going to go to a concert with someone that you're going to be dating in the next 6 months. I feel like heavy concert music for some reason. Not heavy like heavy metal necessarily, unless you like that kind of thing, in which case, high five, so do I. Oh, I keep dropping all the cards today. This says distant thunder, clear the air. Distant thunder, clear the air. Could be like, I don't know. I'm really feeling like thunder, even like drums. Like maybe you're gonna maybe you're gonna meet someone who drums. Clear the air. So I feel like in the next couple months, you are clearing the way, like clearing life out and actually making space. I don't feel like it's right this moment. I just feel like for the next few months, it's kind of clearing things in your life that are like, oh, I wouldn't want to share that with a partner. This doesn't really make sense to have a partner in this space. Or, even if it's as simple as like your bathroom, like the way that you have your bathroom, would you be like super happy with a partner in that space? And what would change? And how would you, I don't know, it just feels something like so specific. It's kind of interesting. Love life. Dun, 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 dun. I really wonder whether you're going to meet someone. I just really, I feel all this drum and guitar and like big music vibes. I don't know. Svetlana. So, Alexandra, my question is still, why or what difference does it make if I answer that question about how long do I see you having the red home? So tell me what changes. Svetlana, what's your question? I just see musician, but I don't know what that means. I just feel like you're going to either date someone in the next few months where you go out to a concert as one of your first things, or you are going to date a musician, someone who is a musician. A little son. I don't know how to interpret that. I'm going to keep reading and we're going to see what else comes out. You just keep talking to me. This says you deserve love. You are lovable. And this feels like a transgression. This feels like a pathway. I can't figure out what that word is. Transition? A transition? Sure, a transition. You deserve love. You are lovable. And then goes to healing family issues. And it says your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. So I feel like first things first, focus on you. First things first. It's important for you to spend some time in the self-love arena and add in a few more things per day that are going to like help keep this vibe for you of actually feeling fully deserving and fully in love with yourself. Healing family issues says your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. So it's like after you move into that place of self-love and knowing that you are valuable and truly, I mean, that's some deep work to actually do that. It's not an easier said than done thing. It's or maybe it is, I don't know, but it's not a thing you can just say and then be done, I guess. And after that layer, then it's asking you to do some of this deeper healing family issues, thinking about, and this is just in the next few months until you meet this soulmate partner. Okay, so that's the next one. Healing family issues is about thinking, what are the ways your parents supported you having your dream relationship and dream connection? And what are the ways where they've modeled the total opposite and not what you want? And, so that you can actually be really clear and say, that's their life. and totally separate yourself from that being a part of your reality moving forward. And when that shift happens, it's like, I love myself. I love myself enough to have different kind of love than I experienced in whatever way. And then soulmate, it says, yes, this is your soulmate. And this is the person I feel connected to music in some way. So you're either going to go to a concert early on, or they're going to be a musician, a drummer, is what I feel. Or you're going to go to a place and there's going to be a drum that stands out to you. Alexandra, if I was to invest in any business, I have to see if I'll be able to run it to get my initial investment back. Even if it's not investing money, but my time, it's still investment. So it makes sense for me to know how long I'll be able to run it. I don't think it's worth the investment if that's what you're asking. But I don't think that knowing how long you're going to have the red home for is as important as focusing on what this next investment is, because unless you feel clear on that, there's no point in actually really knowing that. And that's just from a business standpoint. What kind of man will he be? It's odd. I'm going to pull another romance angel card, but look at the image. So I see him, it's funny, the wedding card came out. I see him being like very focused on partnership. And that's something that's going to kind of like alarm you at the start a little bit. It's going to alarm you because sometimes when people are ready to just give their all to something, you're like, what's wrong with this person? You know, like why are they so ready to go? You know, what else are they doing in their life? But this person's going to have a lot going on, and they're just going to kind of be like, go with it type of people. And I see that they also have, like this man has females in his life. So he's used to almost getting emotionally wrapped up in things more so. Like I feel like he would have been raised by being very close to a sister or being very close to a mother or grandma figure. I am definitely feeling sister though. So maybe it'll be, he was really close to a sister. Growing up, especially because he has this kind of way of being a bit more sensitive, a bit more like committed and serious than you actually like naturally are used to a man being. And so it almost feels like you're like, you know, what game are you trying to play at? Almost, it sort of feels funny. It almost feels like you're going to distrust them a little bit at the start, but that's more about you and actually healing those family issues, I think, because it's just sort of given you, I don't know. I just feel like there's like a little bit of like a limitation on how you're viewing sort of like different roles or responsibilities with each other. Or just maybe a way that you want things to be that you haven't quite like fully admitted to yourself yet. So getting clear on yourself and the self-love piece is definitely like first and foremost and paramount, because I think, you know, if you could think of this person being like, I wonder what kind of woman she will be. I wonder who my next love will be. And you could think about like this person asking those same questions in their mind. Ask yourself, you know, like what will they love about you? And what will they see in you that is like a great fit for them, and how will they feel in relationship, and kind of get dreamy about how are they going to feel in this relationship, because it's going to be good. Obviously, if it's one that's staying, it's going to feel good to you, and so it must feel good to them as well. And I don't know why that feels important, but maybe it's like you can feel what they're feeling, what he's going to feel, and then feel that much more confident in yourself because you're like, wow, I gave that feeling to someone. I don't know, it's sort of interesting. Let me know if that resonates with you, Svetlana, but that's what that's what it came up with. Alexandra, I want to answer this question. Oh, you're welcome. I want to answer this question, and I'm struggling a little bit to figure out what the question is at the bottom of this. But it's not hurting me. I'm like, oh, I want to not be frustrating to you. I want to make sure that you know I'm listening, and I'm trying to get to a place where we get to the truth, to the heart of the matter. Svetlana, it resonates. Oh, good. I'm glad. Okay. Instagram, there weren't that many people on, so I didn't really feel like staying on. I guess I had that feeling because I was questioning going on even before we got started, didn't I? There's way more people hanging out here on the YouTubes. Does anybody else have a question? I'm going to pull a manifesting card for all of us stepping into new things and new territories, new chapters, and manifesting, bringing things in, and also doing some inner child work and feeling a little bit more like less hard on ourselves and more innocent and more accepting and more free. And more joyful and actually, more playful. Very much asking for our inner children to be tended to here. Time frame. So, what difference does time mean? Because if you need more stability and stability comes in, will you then need more time? If you need more time, then take the time. If you need more time and stability comes in, but you still feel like you need more time, I would ask yourself why you feel like more time is needed. If your time is your investment, then you might need to invest more. So when you start looking at the words, it's actually quite interesting. You need more time. And even if you're not investing money, your time is still investment. So what good will knowing the time do? Your investment is more what you need to look at. Where am I meant to be investing my time? And this answer needs to come from within. That's why I'm kind of pressing in today to help it be more inspired from yourself. Because once you feel clear on what it is that comes next for you, this time and stability begin to figure themselves out with actions and with markers or with shedding fears, shedding beliefs, because thinking that you are not stable is an illusion of the truth. The truth is we are all actually born in a way where your stability exists in your like present moment state of mind on a very, very deep, if you can really, really take away all the other types of layers of things happening in our minds, our present state of being is this point of stability that we operate from. And it's our past experiences that affect how we're currently feeling in any one moment, how we're currently reacting to things, our subconscious mind, and potentially our fears about the future, right? I need to know how long before I'll lose that home. Months or years? Months. Months. So for me, every time I've been tuning into your situation as you've come up in the oracle readings, every time I tune into that situation, it feels as though you know that a big shift is happening and that you are being urged and asked and guided to leave. But a lot of the questions have to do with staying and gripping and holding on to what is unstable. So I would ask you, what feels stable? Does right now and this idea feel more stable than a new thing that is a sure thing, or a different thing that you haven't considered that would bring stability, but perhaps not the feeling of time, right? Whatever it is, it feels like there's something that's just going by your mind. It does not feel stable or secure long term in any way to be in the current place with the amount that is happening around that. And so I feel months. So how does that change things? What does that change? Time is a very dangerous thing to be stressed about because it keeps moving every minute, every second. It keeps going. It keeps passing us by and keeps showing up at the same time. I think like I have an ex-boyfriend who used to say that I should be a comedian. I should try to be like a spiritual comedian. I think I would make myself laugh and I would make other people frustrated. Because the things that I find very spiritually humorous are things that make your head kind of turn. Little conundrums. Pamela, do you feel the unraveling could occur with the project? I do. I do feel like it's actually necessary for you to unravel in order to get a bit more clarity about the project and to unleash and unhook from any kind of boundaries that needed to be there for some reason. There's some sort of like other form that seems to be coming up with this project for some reason. Okay. I love this card for us all manifesting what it is we are looking to manifest right now. So let's all have a think, a ponder, 2 or 3 things in general that we're looking to manifest, like a feeling. Brilliant, Pamela says. I love it. I love it. Go all in. Alexandra, that means in a few months when I'll go to court, you could or you could not. You could lose it after that. You could lose it before. You could lose it way after that. Months could be 2 months to 9, 10 months, right? Like it's months, it's some level of months. What's really important is that you put your focus mentally, energetically upon receiving the truth of what is coming in the future rather than thinking about what you don't want to have happen in the future. Allow what is going to happen to come in from a divine source, not from any place below, neck down, and from places of fear. But I actually imagine that it's that the information you're receiving is from up and coming down. And whatever it is you take into that space that feels like, here's what's next, that doesn't just excite this fear state in your body. Anything that comes into that place, take that in and just write it down and then wait like another day without thinking about it and just go back and consider them in like a calm place when you just have like peace in your mind and openness to what is happening in the future. Because right now um it feels like the energy is more focused on the things that you actually do not desire. And so you're getting like a spirit message to put your focus on that which you do desire. I love this card for all of us, all these manifestations. If we could all think about 2 or 3 things or concepts or feelings, you know, Alexandra, it might be time, stability, it might be new ideas, it might be a clear vision. Pamela, it might be unraveling. You know, you might be trying to manifest a really nice bath, you know, whatever it is. Whatever it is, all of us, you know, Svetlana, this man, this musician, but also the idea of self-love, maybe the idea of inner child healing, of true forgiveness of your parents and the way that you were brought up into this world completely. As needed, of course, there are things that feel very difficult to do that with, so I'm not forcing it all now. Stacy as well, the feeling of feeling constantly connected and constantly supported and guided by spirit guides, right? So if we kind of go and look at all these different examples of what it is we're manifesting, what it is we're calling in, true manifestations are powered by service and love. So this is the same idea. We are putting our full selves into the things we are guided towards and not taking no for an answer. And actually allowing yourself to be connected and fully in like service, that full mission, full drive towards these things that you're already feeling called towards. These ways, even Svetlana, the idea of like feeling called towards love, and that to actually really manifest that and to be in service of that is to actually believe that beautiful love is coming and to actually work on yourself to be this divine next partner in love and to actually enjoy and indulge in romantic ideas and the idea that you are worthy of the love that you desire and that you are a beautiful soul that is destined for beautiful love, right? Then going in and spending some time with that, that's powered by service to yourself and service to love. So it might be complicated sometimes to think out how you can bring everything back to that place. For Alexandra, right? I mean, again, there's like a lot of chaos and necessary, you know, panics and things like that coming up. And so if you could say, this is not a true manifestation because this does not feel in alignment with love, right? What feels in alignment with service and love? What am I doing to serve others from the goodness of my heart? Stacy, I pamper myself all the time by showing myself love. Yeah, it's important. And the service piece, I think like having both is so, so important. when I show up here, this is part of my service. There's other things I do in service as well in life. But this is one of these things I love to do in service as an oracle. I have the skill. I have a way of talking that sometimes helps people. I like showing up here. It allows me to feel like I'm connected to my purpose. And that feels like an act of self-love and devotion towards my mission. It also feels like it's powered by love. So it's a manifestation. This whole YouTube is a little manifestation of service and love. And it doesn't need to be you doing an oracle thing or a spiritual thing to have that at all. It can be whatever service and whatever love. I feel like pulling another Sacred Traveler card. I'm loving this deck tonight for some reason. Does anybody have any more questions? How is that landing with you, Alexandra? I know it's been a lot of pushing, pressing, channeling different messages today. That happens sometimes. Happy to answer any more questions. I'm only going to stay on for the next few minutes here. Oh yeah, staying focused. Is this not the vibe? This is totally the vibe. Staying focused. Hold the course. Don't doubt it now. Don't get in your own way. If things are meant to take a turn, if you are meant to be in this next big chapter, if there is a next you who is waiting to be shown up to the world, trust, hold the course, keep doing the thing until the external and until the physical reality matches that which you already know, that which you already feel, that which you already sense and you have ideas of and you dream about. The me that exists now is a me that, late teen Kate would have dreamed about, did actually probably physically dream about. This current life in this current iteration, I have future me's that I'm really dreaming of and excited for that feel so far from my current self. The only way they're going to get there is if I stay focused on the energy which I already feel is like connected. What do you mean it's not good news? What do you mean by that, Alexandra? Makes me sad and nervous. So sad and nervous, they're feelings. You can get through those. And they're saying something. They're saying something. And at the bottom of that something, you will be fine and you will figure this out. I truly believe that. You can feel all those things on the way down to truth and understanding what's at the bottom of that. At the bottom of the ocean. Would I travel soon? Will I travel soon? I'll answer, will I travel soon? Like, are you going to? I feel yes. I feel you're going to travel somewhere by the end of this year. And I feel south. I feel you're going south by the end of this year. So there you go. Some new information, some interesting information. Sometimes I fight stuff. Sometimes I answer it, You can never quite tell with me. It depends on how things come in. I do feel a lot of, I love that deck too. I love that deck. Yeah. Yeah, the Sacred Traveler is a good one. I love this too. The Super Attractor deck I'm also really loving. That's the True Manifestations Powered by Service and Love, this one. And then Sacred Traveler. But I really love Sacred Traveler. Comes in often. So, Alexandra, when you feel as though you have connected to yourself and gotten to a place where you're like receptive and in that kind of like looking for truth and looking for truly like what's in your best, highest alignment, right now, there's just an ever so slight limitation, a block, just because I think sometimes when things come in, they can be big, right? And so it just feels like it's all necessary feelings. Like you're allowed to have all these feelings. Yeah, and you know what? Like there's lots of feelings that are going to come up in this whole process, and my suggestion is to look towards the feelings you do want to be having and what those connect to. Because I have a feeling sad and nervous and sad and upset, and a lack of justice and anger and frustration and things, I have a feeling that those things are not the things you want to be feeling on a regular basis. And I see so many of these feelings matching up with this house situation that is feeling so separate and done from your future. And so, if I can say that, intuitively, I don't feel like this current place is connected to your future. And I said in a matter of months, however many months that's going to be. It's going to be the amount of month that's fine, because you're going to also continue after this point. There's going to be more after this point that you're going to expand into. So if you could spend a bit more time just for a little bit relaxing your body and separating from the things that are really upsetting and not going the way that you'd like them to allow in, to receive in, and to intuit and really imagine and dream up what it is you desire and what it is you're meant to do and what it is comes next after this place, then you might start to reconcile, hey, if that's what I'm moving towards, I don't need to be so upset about this. If some good and justice happens in the end, then this current injustice must be faced. And however you feel guided to face it, you can keep facing it. You can keep giving all the different feelings forward. You can keep doing this. You can keep acting. I just also want to add in tuning into this other frequency that I don't see you wanting to access because you're like more focused on this. Try focusing on what that energy is, because it might actually have something for you. Giving me all the feels. Yeah. Good. It's okay to have feelings. It's okay to be like upset by stuff and disrupted by things. I'm here to help you get back to this place that actually feels more like you. And I know none of us actually crave these types of feelings as part of our frequent daily thing. And so it's like these feelings are actually telling you to step away, pay attention to your feelings. Maybe go back to that video I posted recently. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Stacy, allowing the feelings and also recognizing they're there for reasons, right? Like for many years, I I had lots of different feelings that were disruptive to my life. One of them was like a deep sadness. A deep sadness was because I was deeply sad, people. That's okay. You know, I fought it so much that I stayed in this deep sadness. Being upset, that's okay. You can be upset. And then what? 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 Right? There's always something more. There's always something to the root of it. There's always something to learn from these feelings. In those times where I was deeply, deeply sad, I needed to find what was making me deeply happy and what would also add to my deep sad. I needed to understand what connected to each of those things in order to then make the choices to move towards more things that had me deeply happy. Okay. Pamela, will I meet a significant man this year? I want to use my pendulum for this, I feel like. Significant. That's funny. It's funny the words we choose. I'm not even going to pick that apart because you already laughed at it. I just think I think it's a perfectly good word. I understand what you mean. Significant. We're all significant. I am seeing, yes, Pamela. I'm feeling later in the year as far as coming together, but you might meet them anytime, even July, August onward. But I feel more like November for actually coming together. So it kind of feels like ooh, kind of like it's like a flirty see ya across the way kind of thing for a bit, or knowing that they're like new to your friends area or something like that. And you're like, oh, okay, that's interesting. Or I don't know, it's like they'll circle in, but not quite be forward. And you'll maybe both have this kind of almost slightly sheepish kind of attitude towards each other until you both admit that this is how you feel. And so I don't know, it's got really sweet vibes actually. That's what I'm feeling so far. And as with anything, as with the landlord stuff, as with the significant people in our lives, with Pamela's and with Svetlana's questions, whenever things have to do with other people, timings can change, energies can change because people can sometimes shift and get off path. But I don't know, with Pamela's this significant person, this man, I feel him kind of like fairly consistent. It's like fairly consistent. Like you're going to get what you get, and you know that that's what you're getting. And it feels pretty, yeah, easy to understand, easy to trust. Yeah. Yeah. How nice. How nice. Let's pull a romance card for that too. Where did I put those? I never know. Oh, I already put them back. Okay. If there's one more question, I'll take one more question before I go. If it's a pretty relatively easy one, and then I will head out. Yeah. Okay. So I see you have two things. You have deception and you also have new love. And I'll explain why I feel the deception came up, Pamela. It's not as dark as it seems. And then new love. So deception says someone is wearing a false self mask in this relationship. I actually just feel like this is your person. Like right now, it feels like they're wrapping up or healing from an old relationship. And in the old relationship, they weren't acting like themselves. So they're just like spending some time doing their own thing. And so you're going to meet them, they're going to be doing their own thing. And that's kind of why they're not going to run in full steam ahead, because they're going to be like, well, Pamela's nice. I just don't know whether I am ready to do anything yet, and they're just kind of in this like, I'm just going to wait and see. But I think something will be so easeful about your connection. It kind of just ends up sort of shifting their mind. In this new love, it says a new person has stirred your romantic feelings. I love the word stirred. It's like, I feel like it's such an older way of, I really enjoy it. It's such an older way of describing things. Not a lot of people in my generation know what I mean when I say stirred. And I say it often because of that. I think it's very funny. And I like this. It's like a new person has stirred your romantic feelings, because that like, ooh, like that kind of, that energy is sort of how I'm seeing you feel like throughout. Like you're just going to be pleasantly surprised, and oh, that's going to be nice. And oh wow, this is just continuing to work. How nice, It has to be in alignment for us both. Yeah, and that's the thing, is like I feel like he also is in that way, and then you are also in that way. So then you're just going to like keep going, and then you're going to be like, well, that's surprising and how nice. And I don't know, I just really see it. It's funny. Stacy, when you say it, it is cute, and I laugh, stir. Yeah, exactly. It's funny. It is really, it's a great word. I like it. It's a good one. Okay. Okay. I think that might be it for questions tonight. All right. Well, enjoy the rest of your evening, everyone. If anybody feels called to use the PayPal donate link, it's down below. If you are wanting to save your pennies and do a real session with me and actually do some good work, then highly recommend that. That's way more fun for both of us. And when will I be back? I'll be back Sunday. You feel that too? Yeah, good. So nice. I love tuning into new love connections. Now, if I only had someone to read me, please work with Kate. I love her stuff. I'm glad you like working with me, Stacy. I'm loving it. Empath Energetics sets me on fire in the best way. I do love it. I love doing the rest of my work as well. Let's read this card again. True manifestations are powered by service and love. True manifestations, not manifestations of things we don't want. True manifestations powered by service and by love. So I'm going to keep serving, keep serving it, keep loving it, keep serving and loving life. The moon is out. The sky is pink and blue and so romantical in that, how beautiful is our expansive sky. We are both older. I think most people listening to me right now are older, which is funny. It's not unusual for me. I tended to spend a lot of time with people older than me throughout my life. The old soul that I was, mature mind that I was. Perhaps I'm getting less mature with age, I hope. Or maybe more mature, but also more playful. More youthful with age, perhaps. Okay, enjoy the rest of your evening, everyone. Thanks for being with me while I cleaned all these up. I don't always clean it up. This sounds so lovely. Yeah, it will be lovely. You are playful. I love it. I love it too. Okay, I'm going to head out. It's time to wind down into sleep. I have had really funny sleep all week. So I know a big creative time is opening up when I have all these little adjustment things going on. Very exciting. Very exciting. Enjoy your weekends, everyone. I will see you Sunday for the weekly live collective energy reading. I have a feeling I will not be out with a migraine this week. So I'm really looking forward to that. And you'll see me on the daily YouTube oracles. Until then, good night, everyone. Take care.